Episode 24 Opening narration. In the shadows of the city, truth never walks alone. Last time, the hunt intensified. A superior officer emerged from the darkness. Huxa, the black snake, with a cane sword gleaming in the dim light. He reminded Hyena of a simple truth: you were already a dead man in North Korea. The forensic lab worked through the night. Bite marks. 3 victims. 1 killer. In the red light district, a woman named Yoon Kyung spoke of a man who called her Emine, a North Korean term. A man with deformed teeth. A man who recorded her moans and bit her every time. The evidence was sent. The profile was building. But tonight, everything converges. The bite marks match. The blood type is confirmed. The composite sketch is complete. And in a quiet hospital room, another truth begins to surface, one that will shatter everything we thought we knew. This is K-Spy Thriller. Welcome to episode 24, The Bite Mark Match and the Spy Family's Secret. Episode 24 Hyena's Bite marks the tragic spy family of Sang-wook. National Forensic Service small conference room. Dr. Go, wearing a yellow jade hairpin, was in conversation with a forensic odontologist. Photographic charts were spread across the table. A moment later, team leader Daebom and Suho entered. Detective Ma was already there. Good afternoon. Welcome. Oh, Detective Ma, you're here too? What, am I not allowed to come? That's not what I meant. You're one of the most important people in our investigation. So I'm glad to see you. Well, that's good to hear. As he greeted them politely, Kong Daebom gave drive. Go a subtle wink that no one else noticed. No one suspected they were lovers. And that secret made their hidden romance all the sweeter. Welcome, both of you. Did you receive the photos we sent? Yes, I did. So? What are the results? You remember how I told you the killer, who left bite marks on Kim Bom-jun's body, was the same person who murdered director Jang Jin-woo? Yes, I remember. The bite marks found on Yoon Kyung's buttocks at the Yongsan Red Light District match the same individual. Really? Wow, if we catch him, this is huge. Daebom and Suho exchanged stunned looks. The dental impressions taken from both victims are an exact match to the bite marks found on Yoon Kyung. Wow, if we catch this guy, everything starts to unravel. The perpetrator has abnormal teeth, malocclusion, unusual size, spacing, alignment. They're nearly identical. Phew. At this point, we can assume he's not Korean. Possibly someone from a Chinese border region with poor medical access, or North Korean. Or maybe from Southeast Asia. Or someone so impoverished he never received orthodontic treatment. With teeth like that, most people would have had them corrected. You're saying he never even considered it? Yes. That's our assessment. We should preserve this dental analysis carefully. Of course. I mentioned this before, didn't I? What did you say? In 1979, in the case of American serial killer Ted Bundy, abnormal dental structure became the decisive evidence. Ah, yes. I remember. Now what's important is identifying the motive. Everyone nodded. Daybaum looked toward Detective Ma, who specialized in crime scene investigations, in murder or arson cases. If we can't identify the motive, the investigation stalls. Exactly. Have you figured out the motive? It's too broad, far too broad. We can't narrow it down yet. In murder cases, there's usually a motive: revenge, jealousy, something. That's why we're still investigating. Dr. Go pulled out another document. We recovered the suspect's blood type from a discarded cigarette butt. Blood type? He was smoking with the woman named Yoon Kyung. We managed to collect the cigarette butt. Impressive. The suspect's blood type is B. So, a man with blood type B and severely malformed teeth? That's correct. Detective Ma smiled slightly and added more information. We're currently working on a composite sketch based on Yoon Kyung's testimony. A composite? Yes, that'll be helpful. The face is coming together clearly. The suspect has a straight horizontal wrinkle across his forehead. A straight wrinkle? I've heard of palm lines. But forehead lines like that are rare. The radio report also mentioned a male, about 170 centimeters tall with a straight forehead wrinkle. Then we might catch him soon. I hope so. But we still don't have a clear lead on the vehicle he used. Nothing yet? We're tracking a taxi used near the Gangnam Leon room salon. Once we locate it, we'll trace its GPS route. But the vehicle hasn't turned up. Nothing in the vehicle tracking system either? The taxi was reportedly rented privately for a week. We're checking all roadside CCTV footage. Did the car fly away or sink into the ground? How can it just disappear? To gather clues, we may need to conduct profiling investigations. But we're still lacking direction. Profiling? There's relational profiling and geographical profiling. Everyone fell silent. Then team leader Daybaum spoke. I'll help narrow down the relational profiling. Actually, we will. How? Well, we'll narrow that scope for you. You will? How? I was going to keep this confidential. But both the suspect and the victims are connected to the National Intelligence Service. What? The NIS is directly involved? Both director Kim Bom-jun and director Jang Jin-woo were former high-ranking NIS officials. That explains it. But what exactly did they do at the NIS? I'm afraid that's classified. If everything is classified, the investigation can't move forward. Even so, it's sensitive intelligence. That's why the NIS will handle this part directly. Daebom frowned slightly, clearly conflicted. Sang-wook brought his mother, who had come to Seoul, after a long time, to Warung Hospital in Gangnam. It was a large hospital known for performing some of the best spinal disc surgeries in the country. They met Chief Physician Jang Yulseon. "Doctor, have the MRI results come out? Our hospital's MRI scans are on a completely different level." "Where did you take these scans?" "At Haesong Hospital in Guangdong District. We can't even properly read these images here. If these are divided into 9 sections, ours are divided into 13. Simply put, these are substandard." "Oh, but it's a fairly large hospital. So what should we do?" "What do you think?" "You need to redo the scan." Can't you just look at it as it is?" "No." The doctor cut him off bluntly. "They say a single word can repay 1,000 debts. But this guy talks like he's chewing trash." Sang-wook swallowed the curse rising in his throat. Annoyed but with no choice, he took his mother to a nearby affiliated hospital to redo the scan. "Bastards, can't you show some mercy to a patient in pain? Your L4 and L5 were operated on about 17 years ago. Where does it hurt the most right now?" "My lower back doesn't hurt that much, but here it aches and burns. It feels like someone's cutting me with a knife." "When you lie down to sleep, which side hurts more?" "It used to be this side, but now the other side hurts more." "When you walk, doesn't it feel like your thigh is being carved out?" "I can barely walk. It hurts so much. Your lower back condition is quite severe. Your spine should be straight, but it's significantly curved." The doctor pointed at the MRI with a pen. "This is the MRI we just took. These square shapes are your vertebrae. This dark area is the cartilage and here is where the nerves pass." "Yes? See this bulging dark part? That's the disc pressing on the nerve. There's a major nerve and a minor one here, and this black area is the problem. It's completely blocked. So that's why." "Yes. On the left side, 2 areas are completely blocked. That's why the pain is so severe." "Oh, your spine is already quite twisted. Once we start treatment, more problems could arise in sequence. We'll try to reduce the pain as much as possible, without putting too much strain on your back. So what do we do? I told you the pathway is extremely narrow. We'll use something like a balloon to widen it. We can't just break it open. I see. Please, doctor, take good care of her. Please change into the gown and lie down here. When will the effects appear? For some people, immediately. For others, it may take a month. It varies. Doctor, please take good care of her. She changed into a gown and lay down. Her bent and twisted spine. Is there still hope left? The doctor put on a black vinyl apron and surgical gloves, standing like a grim reaper. He gripped a large syringe. While watching the nerve pathways on the X-ray monitor, Sang-wook's mother tightly shut her eyes. Sang-wook called his older brother, Young-wook. After returning from the hospital, the phone rang, but there was no answer. He called again and again. After a long while, the call finally connected. Did you swallow your phone or something? Why aren't you picking up? Yeah, I was sleeping. What's up? What do you mean what's up? You can't even call first? What the hell are you saying? You call out of nowhere. We went to the hospital today. Mom's back is worse. Shouldn't the eldest son be paying some attention? I'm busy. You know I was sent out to catch tax evaders in the provinces. I know. But you rest on weekends, don't you? Last weekend I went all the way to Jeonsado, chasing a guy who evaded 130 billion won in taxes. Still, you could have called. Or taken a day off and come down. You see that tax task force on TV all the time, right? Try to understand. Understand? You just said, understand. You think I'm just some unemployed bum? I have a job too. Who said you don't? I'm a section chief at Amazonland, damn it. You little punk, how dare you talk to your older brother like that? Hong, stop talking nonsense and come down here. I'm juggling time too, taking Mom to the hospital and back. You're really pushing it, damn it. You're not coming because of Dad, right? Because he was labeled a communist. Because he was a North Korean spy. You're ashamed of our family, aren't you? That's not it. What's there to be ashamed of? I can see right through you. Jesus, you talk like crap. Isn't this something our entire nation has suffered through? All that war, bloodshed, pain between North and South. What's the crime in that? Is it our fault? It's the politicians screwing everything up. Using ideology to divide people and tear everything apart. Why are you dragging history into this? The ones in power, North or South, they're all the same. They cling to power because it tastes sweet. Everyone bows their heads. If you were in their place, would you give it up? Power that the whole nation worships, would you let go of that? Damn it. I agree. Both sides are rotten. But nothing ever changes. Because of Dad's so-called espionage. I'm the one cleaning up after him. For the sake of our family. To keep him alive even a little longer. I know it's humiliating. What's humiliating? Is that really something to be ashamed of? Isn't it a tragic, painful scar carved into our history? A wound soaked in blood and tears? But that doesn't mean we should be proud of it. Did I commit a crime? Dad was just a victim of history. Then where is Dad now? Now you ask? You useless excuse for an eldest son. That bastard, I'll come down next time. For real. Don't just talk with that loose mouth of yours. Get down here and act like a human being. All right, I'll come after I finish this big case. I'm sorry. I'm hanging up. You're hanging up? Damn it. You can't even face Dad because you're ashamed. I took Mom to the hospital today. Start pulling your weight. Got it. I'll come down. I'm sorry. Hanging up. Don't hang up, you bastard. Didn't you learn filial piety is the foundation of all virtue? Click. The call ended. Damn it, having a brother like that drives me insane. Fuming, Sang-wook stormed out of the house. He got into his car and drove off without direction. He slammed the steering wheel in rage. Unable to calm down, he drove along a quiet national road. A sign pointing to Gimpo appeared. He crossed the bridge toward Gangwon Island and turned onto a secluded road. A sign read "Private property, no trespassing." A blue wire fence blocked easy access. After driving deep into the woods, a lone house appeared. Isolated. Hidden. The sound of dogs barking echoed in the distance. A man in a hooded tracksuit stepped outside. He crossed the stepping stones laid across the yard. Two black pit bulls bared their teeth, growling. The man's face remained unseen. From the corner of the yard, he pulled out thick, protective training gear made for dog handling. The sleeves were reinforced with heavy material. He took out several training tools. He brought one toward the pit bull's mouth. A metal pole stood in one corner. A rope hung from it, with a dog toy tied to the end. The pit bull leapt up and clamped onto it. Once it bit down, it never let go. It clung on with everything it had, training its jaw strength. When the dog latched on, the man flipped a switch. The device began spinning like a rotating disc. Despite the centrifugal force, the dog refused to let go. Next, the man fastened the leash tightly. Then, suddenly, his demeanor changed. He pushed and struck lightly with a long rod, provoking the dog. The pit bull's eyes burned red. Tension filled the air between man and beast. The dog snarled, teeth bared, muscles taut. It strained against the leash, ready to lunge. The man pulled back his hood, wiping sweat from his face. It was Sang-wook. I'll tear everything apart, this damn world. Ending meant. Ending narration. Episode 24. The truth never disappears. It only waits for the right moment to surface. Tonight, the net is closing in. The bite marks have been matched. The evidence is undeniable. Blood type B, deformed teeth, a horizontal wrinkle across the forehead. The profile is complete. But as the investigation tightens its grip, another truth emerges from the shadows, a truth no one expected. Sang-wook, a dog trainer, a dutiful son, a man carrying a burden too heavy for one lifetime. My father was a North Korean spy. A confession that shatters everything. A family torn apart by history. A son forced to walk in his father's footsteps not by choice, but by survival. In a secluded house on Gangwon Island, pit bulls are trained. Eyes burning with rage. Jaws that never let go. And a man standing in the shadows, whispering to the darkness. I'll tear it all apart, this damn world. Two paths are converging. The hunter and the hunted. The investigator and the avenger. And when they finally collide, nothing will remain the same. This is not just a spy thriller. This is a story about the price of loyalty, the weight of history, and the scars that nations leave on innocent lives. Beauty Spy War, a K-spy thriller based on Scorpio, a finalist of the second Proud Korean Screenplay Contest, continues to unfold, one truth at a time. Next time, in episode 25, the lines between ally and enemy will blur even further. Secrets will be revealed, loyalties will be tested, and the shadow of the past will demand its reckoning. If you enjoyed this episode, please subscribe and hit the like button. Your support keeps this story alive. Share your thoughts in the comments. Who do you think Sang-wook really is? What will happen when the truth comes to light? Thank you for listening. Stay with us, because the next truth will be even more dangerous. This has been Beauty Spy War. Until next time, stay vigilant.